everybody, I'm Claudia, and today we're going to talk about common mispronunciation errors in English. So we're going to start with the SH. So the SH sound says shh, shh. So puff of air is coming out of my mouth. This is unvoiced. If you want to learn what unvoiced and voiced is, check out another one of our videos. So look at my mouth. Shh. It's like circular, right? So wash. Like I washed the dishes. Another one is CH. CH says ch, ch, ch. So my teeth are kind of clenched in the back. Ch. A little puff of air, but my mouth is like this. Ch. Okay? So like watched. I watched TV. Very important not to get confused with these words. Washed the dishes, watched TV. You don't want to say, I washed the TV. People are going to say, why did you wash the TV? So some words that end or that have SH are dish, dash, posh, fish, smash, splash. Now your CH, ch, are going to be scorch, teach, patch, pitch, glitch, catch. Okay? Now we're going to talk about the S sound. So when words are spelled with an S, usually the sound says S. So this is unvoiced. Puff of air escapes your mouth. S. So like sun. My son is 5 years old. Sun. The sun is bright. Sand, signal, fist, pass, mess, kiss, and stress. Okay? So sometimes when there's an S, it's pronounced like an S, like a S, and then sometimes it has a Z sound, like a Z. Okay? So we use the S sound if it's after an unvoiced sound. If the letter S is after an unvoiced sound, it's pronounced like an S. For example, hats, tops, works, laughs, muffs. So the last letter before the S is unvoiced. Easy, right? So when it gets a little tricky is the Z sound. How do you know when the S sounds like a Z? So it's when the letter S is after a vowel, like was. You hear that? Was. So the Z, you're kind of clenching your teeth. It says Z. Okay? That's a vibrating sound, so it's voiced. Another time is when there's a double S in the middle of the word. So scissors in the middle. Do you hear it? Scissors. Dessert. Dissolve. Possess. Z. Okay? And you also hear the Z sound when there's an S after a voiced consonant. So like logs, tubes, beds, moves, close, and becomes. Okay? Now we're going to talk about when the C, the letter C, sounds like an S. So like city, certain, center, cement, price, and surface. The C sounds like an S. Okay, now we're going to go back to the Z sound. So when you see a Z, most of the time, it's going to be pronounced like a Z, like a Z. Again, your teeth are kind of clenched back here. Z, it vibrates. So like words like zoo, buzz, maze, prize. But again, remember we talked about sometimes the S sounds like a Z. Words like has, cars, reason, houses. Okay, now we're going to talk about the R sound, which is difficult for some non-native speakers. So the R sound says R. Okay, so words like read, race, rake, more, bored, burden, fear, far, number, and better. Okay? Those are your R sounds. Sometimes I've noticed that non-native speakers drop the H. In some countries, the H is silent. In English, the H is pronounced like a puff of air. Sometimes I put my hand in front of my mouth to show my students. You should feel a puff of air in your hand if you're pronouncing it correctly. So this is what I do. Ham, if I'm exaggerating the word, right? Here, hungry, hammer, hamper, hinder. If I'm exaggerating, then I'll feel the puff of air. Sometimes we don't always hear it. Hammer, or we don't always feel it. But the H says, and sometimes you feel like a puff of air coming from your diaphragm or your belly. All right, thank you for watching. I hope this video helped and you liked it. See you next time.